you're essentially saying I'm if it's a exclusive relationship, you're saying I belong to this person and this person belongs to me,
Yeah. And I think
and
they were
that's what
just
it is,
separated.
But
So I don't think it's wrong that he said, "Hey, well, do you care if I do this?" Because if they're separated, but maybe they're working it out, or maybe Will's going to be like, "No, that's too far for me." I don't think that's necessarily bad. I guess it depends if it's like, "May I have permission?" and you're just going to pass your wife around like a doobie is different. But
yeah. That's funny to hear pass your wife around like a doobie.
it's
Damn.
from a Simpsons episode where he's like, "My wife is not some doobie to be passed around."
Oh man, that's funny.
I like Simpsons. Sorry. So,
How about them
As soon
necks?
do you like
as soon
stuff?
as I put the bot in, the conversation just dies.
Right? I
Yeah,
like
bro.
stuff.
Oh no, you just put the bot in? Nah, I'm like I've been playing it since y'all didn't start the Apex thing. I've been playing like this little 2D game, and I've been like fucking capping it and shit. I
It's
mean,
okay. I'm still playing my spelling game.
I'm trying to find a good news organization to subscribe to.
The BBC, actually, for a while, Al Jazeera's British feed or whatever was a
Not
pretty decent news
not the
service, which
pol-
sounds terrible.
not the political stuff.
I'm just saying in general. Al Jazeera,
Well, I want to
Britain.
see which ones were like who was first to mention the thing about Kodak.
Oh,
Because
Kodak.
after news broke about that loan, then their shares like I think they're up 500% right now.
well,
So
you
Wait,
should have bought
Kodak, the camera
it.
company.
Yes.
yeah, they got a
Yes.
loan to start producing pharmaceuticals.
You fucking serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Today, I'm
Mm.
proud to announce one of the most important deals in the history of U.S. pharmaceutical industries. My administration has reached a historic agreement with a great American company. You remember this company? It's called From the Good Old Camera Age, the Old Days, to begin producing critical pharmaceutical ingredients. It's called Kodak, and it's going to be right here in America.
Which we do need medicines made here instead of everywhere else.
See, that might be part of what I was telling you about with people trying to move their manufacturing out of China,
Mhm.
or I should
Mhm.
not people in general, but America trying to move its manufacturing out of China.
Mhm.
Like this is part of that push,
Mhm.
and I really do feel like we're if not already in the I believe we're already in the Cold War, our Cold War for this age. But
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't even know if you could ever really say the Cold War ended because
Never
they're
ended.
always
Yeah.
developing technology that never stops.
Yep.
There's just always going on in the background. Nuclear missiles are pointed at us right now, you know.
And
Even
you
though
know,
I will say the aliens be shutting that shit down. I'm not gonna stop bringing up those motherfuckers. That's crazy that we might actually get some, some real acknowledgement of the government saying, "Hey, like, you know, gigs up, guys. We don't know what the fuck is flying over our bases. We don't know what the fuck is fucking watching us coming from outer space."
okay, you're gonna have to say it all again because I had lost you.
Wait, could y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
I heard you.
Everyone but me, I was having an issue.
No, I was just talking about the fact that I think the government will come out at some point and acknowledge the fact that there's some out there that they don't know what it is.
Yep.
Within the next 6 months, it's supposed to happen. After I believe the I think it was a military budget or part of the military budget was announced for 2021, fiscal year 2021. So they have to release that information in 180 days from the budget being approved. And I believe that'll either be sometime in maybe December or sometime in January will be the end of that 180 days.
It's kind of interesting that they have a 180-day period to decide when they can release it.
What do you mean? Like, it's interesting that the period of time is so long or so short or what?
So long. For me, it'll be so long because I get it. You want to be able to probably use that time to figure out as much stuff on whatever you're about to release as possible. And it gives it any time. So if you're getting ready to release any information, if anything changes or you have anything wrong, you can do your best shot to get it out there as correct as possible. But then you also look at it, it's like, yo, they're holding information. Maybe they're holding it back because they're trying to figure out how to say it correctly without terrifying the masses.
Either that or they're
Or,
scrubbing stuff. What they're gonna release is gonna be these how do you those redacted documents where everything's blacked out except the words like and the and shit.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Not a,
I don't think that I don't think they'll release some shit like that. I think that would probably just piss people off.
That's what they've always done. They don't give a shit about us.
Yeah, they always do that, and I see I understand why to a degree. To some
Yeah.
degree, it makes an enormous amount of sense for them to black a bunch of shit out because I can go and I read these intelligence well, not I shouldn't call them intelligence documents. I read this document, or at least the English version of it that comes out, that China releases, and it's about basically how the country is going to move forward. But if we release some shit and some briefing or something for the American people, and it tells some information that the another country doesn't know we have, or that we're not supposed to have, or that only a limited number of people have, it could cause, a lot of backlash in those other countries. It could be like someone in the CIA who's operating in another country. They could get killed because of something that gets released in those documents. And that has happened. Some people have, like with the WikiLeaks leaks thing,
Mhm.
with that guy in the Navy, the transgender dude who released all those documents to WikiLeaks. And I think a couple of people got killed because of that. They ended up, being compromised. So I get why they black some of it out, but at the same time, I'm like, where's the fuck is the balance? Like, can't you pull that guy out and say, okay, here, American people, that guy was a spy, Russia, but yeah, this is what we know. But also, it tells you you might find out details about methodology of how they got that shit. Like
Yeah.
I was watching the New York that New York movie. I don't know. It's something on Netflix about basically the mafia. It's like Fear in New York or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I was watching that, and well, spoiler alert. So there are people. Some of the high up guys in the mafia didn't know their homes were wiretapped
Right.
until basically the case started. So after the case starts, that advantage you have of being able to wiretap people's homes, that may be gone, once they know about it. And same
Right.
thing with if we're spying on somebody and, we're spying on the Chinese Communist Party and we have some kind of tech that can listen in on a room because that room has windows. And I believe that tech is out there. I've heard that actually exists. They can they have some kind of tech where they look at the window, they see the vibrations, and they know what's being said inside the room. So, if an intelligence briefing comes out and the public gets it and they go, hey, we said that shit in this room in China. Like, how the fuck did they know that we said that? And somebody's like, no, I heard of this experimental technology out there with windows. All right, let's make sure we never talk in a room with fucking windows ever again.
Right.
When you could have had them not know, and you could have maybe used that shit for years.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they'll do that to us with the alien, because I think it would be more of an issue of, uh, we don't. They're so far past us technologically that we can't hide shit anyway. Everything is an open fucking curtain. So there's no point in the secrecy, besides not unveiling what technology we have.
Yeah.
You know what? A good example of that is there's this pilot that this Air Force pilot who is playing this video game right on YouTube. He's playing a video game. It's called DSG, I believe. It's some kind of flight simulator game. It's really in depth. And he's like, okay, yeah, some of this shit in this plane that I'm flying in this game, I can't tell you about the real counterparts in our real plane. I can't tell you about the user interface in the plane, because that would be, knowledge that our enemies could gain, and we might lose a leg up on something. So this guy's not even in the Air Force anymore. He's talking about a weapon system that has been around for, probably at least a decade, and he can't even tell you about how that weapon system works, because the enemy doesn't know. So I'm like, if there's that kind of secrecy on that level, on a veteran playing a video game on the internet, then it kind of makes sense that a lot of that shit is blacked out. As unfortunate as it may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they'll fuck us over on this alien. I think they'll probably just say some shit like, "Hey, there's some ships. Here's a video of a ship we saw, or here's something dealing with the ship, and yeah, we don't know where the fuck this is from. We're not saying it's aliens, but we know that we didn't make it, and we don't know what country could have made this. Hey, scientists. Hey, public. Can you help us out on this? Can you help us identify what this is?" And that'll probably be the end of it.
You know what? I know exactly what it is. Remember that flat earther that was building those rockets that died? He was always trying to fly higher. Well, this what happened. He
Oh.
managed. He
Mhm.
managed to get it done, bro. And this is
Oh,
what happened. It's
he flew up past the fucking curtain. He went through the curtain, and then
yeah, bro.
he instantly got godlike powers.
Godlike powers and a new ship.
He's coming to set us free. He's coming to set us free. Oh, wait, I forgot that guy died. Yeah.
No, that's what they
Oh,
want you to
yeah.
think, bro. That's what they want you to
Probably
think.
probably looking down at the curve of the earth going, oh shit.
Like, I don't know if his parachute didn't deploy correctly or what it was, but I mean, props to the guy for being intelligent enough to get something in the air that fucking high. I know I couldn't do that,
Okay, but
but
no props to the guy who thought the earth was flat. Come on.
no, I got to give
I
him
mean,
props for being intelligent enough
No.
to get that rocket in the sky. Can you build a rocket? I know my ass.
You
So
know,
I
I
think we
haven't
have
need
to.
to because
Ignore Kay.
the
She's a
Nazis
hater.
came and built our rockets for us. Okay, we had Werner von Braun building the rockets, but
Because I'm
I'm
like,
what's
just
that? I don't need a rocket. I got Uber Eats.
ain't that crazy though? This motherfucker thought the world was Earth, but he had the technological expertise to build a rocket to get him into the sky.
right, which should have maybe told him that just check into the other science and you don't have to even fuck with that rocket
But
because
like,
send a goddamn camera up. You've got the rocket.
but that's crazy though. When you think about it, like, I mean, as dumb as it is to believe nowadays that the curvature of the Earth is zero, or that the world is flat, that the surface of the Earth is flat. As dumb as it is to believe that, the intelligence that you need to build that rocket in the first place, that's rocket science. I mean, he got it up in the air. This motherfucker could do rocket science. This motherfucker was doing rocket science. Like, what the fuck? He was so smart, but at the same time,
So dumb.
I can't call the guy stupid. I can't actually call him dumb.
I think maybe you can because look at what's that guy? He was Trump's. He's a fucking brain surgeon. He's black. He's pro-Trump. He was on Trump's. He ran for president.
Oh,
Dumb
I know
as
what
a
you're talking about. I
fucking
know
post.
his name.
Okay, that guy is a brain surgeon. He apparently is great at it, and he is so fucking stupid. like just because you're an expert at one thing doesn't make you smart. Like smart, I think you have to sort of be all around, well-rounded, able to take in information.
That's one thing. That's one thing where I'm like, and even in psychology, I don't think we really agreed on this. It's like, what is intelligence? Because I've met people who can hold a conversation like a motherfucker. They can talk to anybody, but can't do math to save their goddamn life.
That's Oprah.
Like,
Oprah is she understands human beings and she knows how to talk to people. She knows how to market herself. But I've read her books, like books that she'll write bits for, and then the book is written by somebody else. She's not exactly a genius. I'm just saying.
I mean, that's my thing. Like, what is that? I mean, I personally think that it's just that there are areas of intelligence. I think it's kind of like a video game. Some people got a fucking strength that's 10 and an intelligence with fucking throwing projectiles or tracking objects in motion, and that shit may be a 7 or a 8, but their arithmetic is, a fucking 5.
Yeah.
Where, or like somebody who's a fucking who's a
Ben
rocket
Carson.
scientist,
Ben Carson.
and their fucking ability to make rockets, complex math, just with their mind alone, is a fucking 15, but their ability to hold a conversation with another person is like a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
I think just people, and we have a society that just does not take that into account, I think.
I think you're right.
Yeah. But I gotta wonder, like, damn, what was there a way to save that dude who built that rocket and thought the
There's
Earth
a
was
fucking
flat?
camera, bro. That's what. Yeah, like what Kay said. He should have been smarter about his approach.
I'm pretty sure he would have. I'm pretty sure that guy had a reason why he didn't go with the camera.
To see
But
it
I
with his
wonder,
own eyes.
huh?
To see it with his own eyes.
Yeah, that could be it. That it could be that maybe on some. I wonder, like, if maybe on some level, a lot of the people who believe in these weird conspiracies have some kind of some mental maladaption or some kind of thing. Like maybe those are people who are like slightly schizophrenic, or maybe those are people who have some kind of form of some mental disorder or the other.
I think
You
it's
know that.
basic to want to see it for your own eyes and experience it in your own body.
Well, and like Vic watched a show about flat earthers that I couldn't even deal with. I was like heckling it. Like he was getting pissed because he couldn't hear the
We
show.
watched it. It was
Okay.
hilarious.
But well, I was trying to be funny, and he was like, "Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to watch the show." But one of the things that he noticed is like people in these groups that are say flat earthers. There are people in those groups that start to doubt whether or not that's true. But the problem is, if you come out and go, you know what, I don't think this is true, all of a sudden you're shunned by everyone you know and everyone in your circle. And I think there are a lot of people who just choose to stick with that stuff because that's a lot easier than saying, I'm going to give up all my friends to, say this thing that is it going to matter in my life anyway?
I mean,
It's a religion.
I hear the opposite
Yeah.
of that though. I hear a lot of people who believe that flat Earth shit get alienated from their families and their friends, and then they just go deeper into it.
That's
Right.
that's what I was talking about. Because they got alienated, because those people said don't associate with me, don't talk to me, all that stuff. So now this is who they have. So of
Mhm.
course they don't want to be even more alone.
Right. And
I
so
get
if
what you're
they
saying.
start to see, oh, this might be bullshit, they're not going to say anything because it's like they know what it's like to be shunned, to be,
So
So
instead of continuing past behavior, going, okay, well, I'm gonna just do my own thing. They're going and they're turning around. They're going, okay, I know how that felt last time. That
yes,
I'm not doing that anymore.
right.
I guess
I'm
that
sick.
shows some of the weakness of those people in a way,
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
or
And
a
that's what
weakness. I shouldn't say the weakness of. a weakness of.
So he was feeling sad for them, and I would just come through the room and I'd hear something stupid, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's blah blah blah, so fucking stupid." And he was like, "Hey, seriously, shut the fuck up." And I thought he was listening because he was like buying into their story, like he was going to become a flat earther. And I'm like, "Honey, you don't understand. Like, if you become a flat earther, this relationship isn't going to work because I can't. Like, that's too off the reservation stupid for me." That was my real worry, is that he was like, "Oh man, these guys are making some sense, you know." And so he told me to
What'll
shut.
really suck is that at the end of all of this, the only people that get into heaven is the flat earthers.
Right. And we're all like, "God
What?
damn."
Because how much you shunned them.
Oh, right. We shouldn't shun them and be mean to
Oh,
them.
so only the
Yes.
victims get to go to heaven. Okay.
It's
Right.
like heaven's not a place for real strong people.
Heaven ain't a place for real niggas. So we all the fucking whiny babies get to fucking go to heaven. That would suck.
I don't think it's whiny babies. It's supposed to love everybody.
Oh shit.
Mm,
Hey,
yeah.
I want to put this idea forth. What if? You know what? I hate to go back to the aliens because I know I talk about it a lot because I realize that a lot on my podcast that I bring it up a lot. But I think it's a really interesting topic because there's so many things to explore with that. But what if, it turns out that all the religious texts, throughout the world and all that is actually just people's interpretations of some kind of extraterrestrial life form
That
that
is
has
the
visited
plot
Earth.
of the show Ancient
That
Aliens.
wait, I can hear what you said.
That is the plot of the show Ancient Aliens. Like it presents itself as a documentary, but basically saying that people misinterpreted technology as being divine. And then these people would come down these spaceships. So it's like, oh, they're gods that came down from heaven. You got to watch
Okay,
the
so
show Saturdays, 8
oh no,
p.m.
I've watched it. I've watched it before. No, but like, what if that happens? That is actually the case, and the government comes out and like, and let's say at some point this year, it's got to be 2020, baby. This is already fucked up enough. Um, but let's say they come out September and they say, hey, uh, it turns out that these aliens have been visiting us for a long ass time, and they modified our DNA to make us go from monkeys to intelligent life forms
Right,
a
which
lot
is,
faster than we would have otherwise.
yes,
What do you guys think?
This
The
is what they
effect?
say on K's show.
that's what
Huh?
they say on the show. There are whole groups that talk about our
No.
DNA.
I'm saying I know that. I've watched the show already.
I know.
But like my thing is, I'm just asking, what do you all think the public response is going to be?
I don't think they would ever say that, even if they knew it was true, because I
But
don't
like,
think it's within their best interest to go against religion. They
no, but
might
what
Even
say,
if they did, what if they
well,
told them?
you're saying your best interest, our best interest, but when extraterrestrial life comes into play, we don't know what the fuck their intentions are, and all things are off the books because at that point, what we typically associate with having power is is fucking not insurmountable, is an inconvenience at best to something that is maybe hundreds or thousands of years more advanced than us. So I'm like,
right,
if let's say for what, let me just make up a reason. Let's say the extraterrestrials are like, hey, tell your people this, and you gotta let them know that we're the real guys around here. We're the ones who the religious texts are about. If and let's say that part is not revealed, that the extraterrestrial said, hey, tell them this thing. But let's just say that they do come out and they say that. They say, hey, Jesus. Oh, sorry, y'all. The story was actually a little bit different. And I'm not saying that they'll tell the story, but they'll say, hey, all the religious texts, all the religion in this world, that's all due to those are people's interpretations of alien life forms, or an interaction that was had with aliens or whatever. What do you guys think the public response would be?
most of the public wouldn't believe them because they're so deep in their religious ideas. But I don't think unless they were forced to say that, like, if you don't tell them this, we're gonna come down and do whatever, they would never say it, because religion keeps so much control over people that they don't want to get rid of that.
So
They love that shit.
So you said they wouldn't believe it.
No, I don't think people would believe it. They'd be like, nah, this is just more government bullshit trying to take religion from us. They want to make us communist. Yeah, they would.
Just like how she mentions that people in Africa didn't see the slave ships, like couldn't even recognize them because it didn't fit in their worldview. I think a lot of people, that kind of thing would happen where they wouldn't, even if everyone around them said it, they probably still wouldn't believe it.
Oh, like they would go into denial, basically.
Yeah. Well, or just assume, no, you've got to be lying to me, because they're so married to those religious ideas that I don't think you could get them to believe that. I just don't believe the government would come out and say that unless they had to. But even if they did, a lot of people would be like, nah, you're full of shit. You know?
Yeah, I get you. I'm also kind of wondering, like, I'm trying to build my wish list of shit that I want, Space Daddy to give us since he's been away for so long.
Space Daddy.
Yeah, Space Daddy, bro. That's what we're calling him. Space Daddy's gonna come through and make
Bro,
everything
Thanos gonna walk off that ship and fuck everybody up.
I know, wouldn't that be, like, I got this list of like, okay, can I have this? I want a spear where I press a button and that motherfucker make any food I want just instantly, and that bitch has no negative fats, it's as good as eating fucking vegetables and fruits and shit, you know. So aliens, hey, if you hear that, holla at your boy. Nah, but wouldn't it be crazy if they got off and like was like ready to fuck shit up? Honestly, I think if they were here to fuck shit up, unless there was some resource they wanted on this planet or some kind of, or we were the resource, like, I think they would have destroyed us by now.
Oh yeah.
So we must, if there's, if this alien thing is real and they're about to come out and announce this shit, that there's something out there and we don't know what it is, that makes me happy, because that lets me know that there are so many more possibilities than all the vast possibilities that we already know, and that's a enlightening and uplifting feeling to me, at least.
Yeah.
But I would think that if there's something else out there, it must not. We must have some kind of value to it because it hasn't destroyed us. Either
Right.
we have some kind of value to it, or that it is impartial to us.
Yeah,
So
they're
I
like,
don't think it's
we're
aggressive.
just like looking at little ants, like, aren't they funny? Because if they can travel here, then, and we can't even get to Mars yet, then obviously they're so technologically surpassing us that they would have already taken us out if they needed to.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that we don't know, we don't see any intelligent life out there, or any planets where there appear to be intelligent life. So that makes me think that if that is a real thing, they're so far outside the realms of our most advanced, science and technology, that they would, if they came here, they would be like gods, like literally, they would have, science or some kind of technological capability that would be so advanced that it, it would be like magic, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of wonder though. I think it's an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm.
And also if they're not weapons, if their vehicles are gravity based, if they can control gravity, then that means they can also control time. And that's the one that I really find interesting, because that means they could do some shit like anybody who ever died, they could bring it back to life. Just, crazy shit. Just you name it, they could do it. I think everybody else fell asleep.
No, I'm sitting here thinking.
Nah, man, I got abducted by aliens.
Oh man, did they probe you, bro?
Nah, that was the doctor.
Oh, that means they don't like you, dog. You gonna die of radiation in 3
No,
days.
I'm about to turn into straight fuel, bro. They finna put me on gas.
When they be, I'm still wondering, like, what if these motherfuckers, what if it's real? What if they're like, yo, we're here to eat shit up. We done gotten y'all Americans right where we want you. We got y'all nice and fat and juicy. Hey,
Right.
y'all. This is a livestock planet, and we ain't
Right.
eating no motherfucking cow. Like, oh
Well, this
no,
would be the
you know how
year.
fucked we would be.
Yeah, this
And
would
what
be
if
the year.
they're on some super evil shit? Like, not only do we eat you, we gonna eat your memories or some shit.
Nah, damn.
like,
you
like
just
so,
got it
like
real.
ultimate devilish, satanic kind of like evil hell on earth, motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
We've got y'all right to the
Why are
point where
you
y'all
putting
memories are gonna
these
be juicy.
thoughts into the universe? We don't need this in 2020. Okay, don't even.
I don't know. I got to think about what if they.
It's too late, Kay.
Well,
It's too late.
What if
It's just
the
happening.
reason why 2020 sucks so much is because they finally found us, or they finally was like, okay, things are perfect. The algorithm says the perfect time is right now to make this shit as bad as we can for all the humans, and we just
And
eat
then
negative
attack.
feelings. Like they just eat negative feelings, so they're just trying to make us like in a fucking worst.
So they
state
heartless,
possible.
bro. They're the
Huh?
fucking heartless.
Yeah, I guess so. Like negative feelings. Oh, Genevieve, you cheated on your husband. Oh, that tastes so good. Put some salt and pepper on that baby. Like,
That's good shit. That's good shit.
Oh my god, I know what my next podcast is about to be about.
Yo, so I gotta check out your latest one that you haven't released yet.
I didn't like it. I really did. I'm gonna release it anyway because
That's right. You know the
it's
rules.
real. Like most of that one, I'd probably spend like 30 minutes talking about how I want to find the name of this fucking song and how I want to find this fucking song. Because I'm stoned out of my mind. And I was like, I just want to listen to this song. I want to hear this song so fucking bad. And I never, well, spoiler alert, I never found the fucking song. But in between all that, I'll talk about some shit. But I don't
And bro,
say
that's why I
anything.
think
I
we
don't say
like
anything
it.
profound. I don't say anything important. I
Who
don't say.
cares? Who
No,
cares? I think
I
that's why we
care.
like it.
That's
Well,
important. That's important to me. I like to see something that has value, that something that is tangible, something that
and
makes you go, I never thought about it like that. I like that.
and and I think that's what's the beautiful part about it is it's you being human, and that's what we want to see. We want to see people being human.
I get you, because I do mention that a lot, and I am gonna put that one out there because it is not perfect, just like all of us. None of us are perfect. And I like the idea of the podcast having, shit like, I didn't, not necessarily that, hey, I didn't like this, you know, this wasn't the best thing ever, or this wasn't the best it could be. But, that's a part of the human experience, I feel like.
Exactly.
That should be out
Okay,
there. It's not
y'all,
Facebook.
I'm going to bed.
Going to bed already? It's only,
4 o'clock in the morning.
it's only, I was playing a game, I was playing squad yesterday, and this motherfucker kept saying,
Okay.
it's 3 a.m. Uh, yeah, it was like that's a funny ass game. I mean, not the game itself, but just the people on it. Like we're shooting at people and shit. We're setting up the base. Commanders giving the squad leaders giving orders and shit. And this guy's just like, hey, you guys, anybody know what time it is?
You want to know?
Nobody say shit, and then it'd be like,
Because you went away.
it's 3 in the morning, over and over.
I don't know what.
But it made me laugh. The way he did it, it sounded funny. It sounded like Forrest Gump was saying it.
Hello,
Huh? Yeah.
Victor. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Like in the room or in the thing?
And the thing,
Okay, because I can't hear anybody in the.
nobody's talking now.
You are.
Oh, well.
There Now I can hear you.
Kay, weren't you going to sleep?
Yes. Goddamn. Kick me out. Yes. Okay, weren't you going to sleep? We are sick of your shit.
Nah, not at all. Not at all. You always provide a very beautiful conversation, for lack of better words.
Yeah, you always bring a especially when it's something which would have talked about some issue, males versus females, because definitely that is very insightful. Because
I
obviously
wish
I'm
we
not a
could have
woman.
captured that conversation from earlier, because that one was really good.
Wait, what
Fun.
conversation?
Just the N word in general.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, but we have so many interesting conversations. I'm sure
Right.
we'll. I don't think we really talked about anything in this one. How long has this one been on?
Who cares? I mean, I haven't checked.
I got tons
But I
of
mean-
shit to say, so
I mean, I just
You put me
rambled
on.
about aliens. But y'all sound like real quiet or tired or something.
No. Well, I'm tired, but I'm super interested in aliens. I just think that the whole world, not just our country, but most of the whole world, maybe not China, they need people to be religious because it's such a great way to control people and control their dollars and all kinds of stuff. So I can't imagine unless they were forced coming out and being like, yeah, all those religions are bullshit. Even if it's totally true, they never would do that because they need people in those religions. They got to
What do
keep us fighting with each other.
What do you think the reality behind this whole like
Oh.
UFO alien kind of thing is? What do you think is actually going on, or that real case is?
I think we got to start this on the next podcast because I think I have lots of thoughts about it.
I mean, we can always continue it on the next podcast.
Yes, but I would have to say that I definitely think that aliens have been coming here for a long time. I do think there's a strong possibility with the way that our DNA, that like with our evolution, we suddenly took a jump in evolution that doesn't really make a lot of sense when they look at the evolutionary record. That makes me wonder if we didn't get some help from somewhere. But yeah, I'm headed to bed. But I'm way more aliened out than VZ. He likes to laugh at me and point out flaws in their theories. Because there are some people on Ancient Aliens that have real stuff to say, and I think they're compelling and smart and interesting. And other people, if just a funny cloud goes by, it's like, well, it's obviously the mothership.
Yeah.
Everything is aliens. So you've got to wait. Oh, did they hang up? Hello?
Nah,
Huh?
the fewer, what's not the fewer, goddamn. Green lost he lost connection because his shit disconnected from Apex as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I just left. I just cut off Apex because we weren't playing it.
And it made a
Yeah.
beep. And I was like, oh shit, they're all right.
Oh, okay.
All right,
I
but
thought that was one of y'all.
we will talk again. I will not be tired.
All right, later, Kay.
All right.
All right. Have
Bye.
a good one.
Bye.
Yeah. So.
So, I think your thing is the aliens, and my thing is still the androids.
About those androids, though, what about them? What is? I think that's an interesting thing too. Like, how would androids change the way that society functions? Do you think that would change? I mean, by the time we get androids though walking around,
Just making sure you know.
I'm
I don't
like,
know.
what?
I don't know if you guys had an opportunity to listen to that podcast I did with Josh, but he made a very interesting point
I don't know how
when it
long I'll
came
be
to how we would perceive androids and how long it would take them to actually be considered a person. He was mentioning how when we were slaves, we were property. Well, when people were enslaved, they were considered property for the longest, and it became this natural thing
It's
where
not
they
just
thought
that,
that people were
but looking something.
property and not anything more than that. And when
Mhm.
they introduce androids, that'll probably be the thing. In the beginning, androids will be property and people that help you. And it's going to take a long while for just everyone to realize, hey,
But you,
they are more than property. And then it takes a good number of people to start believing in that for it to become socially and culturally,
Wait,
I
why would they
guess,
ever be more than property though?
because the question down the table that would happen would be if you can program a life to basically if you could program a life to be a human or to be able to do everything that we do, if you could reprogram us or just realize that we're all just really just a bunch of data making our own choices and you could recreate that in some other beings, then what makes it or means that they're not as humans or us or what determines if they have a soul or not, if those questions start kicking in, like, do they have rights, should they have rights, or and that's going to be the question. And
What
you're
if
going to
they?
have
Oh, my bad.
well,
Let me
and
let
you're
you
gonna
finish.
have a number of people who believe that, yeah, they do have rights because they have free will. Now they have the ability to have a soul, or if they want to even think about it in that kind of process. And you're gonna have the people that say, no, we created them, so fuck that. They are what we created, and they don't have a right because we created them, and we know that we created. That's gonna be the questions that hit the table in the future.
Now, you said, what if they can do all the things we can do? One of the laws of robotics, so to speak, that y'all let me know were actually real. I thought it was just some shit in the movie.
Yeah,
But
Maximoff. No, not Maximoff. I forgot his name, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but like one of those laws is that you can't make it. The robot must never be able to attack the person or to hurt people. So would robots have to have the ability to hurt people
Okay.
before
Put
we
it
saw
on
them as
something,
humans or
a
equal to
reminder or
human,
something.
or before this rights thing popped off?
Hmm.
Also, wait, quick question, not to derail everything. This is still
Talking
relevant. Have you played that Android game yet? The
about me?
PlayStation game? Yeah.
Remember, I played it at your house, so I know for a
Wait,
fact
but did
where
you beat it though? You
I
play
last
the
did
whole
not
game?
beat it. I really need to become human,
Oh
and
my god, how you gonna beat an Android played that? What's it called? Detroit Become Human. Bro, you gotta finish that whole
I
game.
gotta play that
Oh
game. I gotta
I
play
want
it.
to play that as
Actually,
well too.
yeah, we
we should
got it
get
over
it,
here.
and
Fly down, nigga.
actually, there's another way we can do this. So we could literally just get it on Origin. I'll get it, and we can stream it and play it that way, and swap it amongst each other and stream it. It's one of those games you can actually do that with.
That you could actually. Oh yeah, yeah. That would definitely be a good game to stream. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good game. I liked it. I really did enjoy that. Oh man, it's it's really a good game. Like one of the few games where your choices really feel like they do make a meaningful difference, and where your choices aren't so black and white or so fucking obvious that you see them from fucking 10 miles away. Yeah, it's definitely a different beast of a game.
I
Right.
actually I think we should do that. That would be cool. That'd be a really cool thing to do. I need to see if there's a way to, I guess, buy a game under a certain account so that way we could allow people to still have access to that game. So I guess they could log in and play that game on their computer if need be, and then we could stream it to just see what their whole journey of it would be. I mean, that sounds like some interesting shit. I would like that. That's just me doing my exponential idea thing. So just throw it in a bubble somewhere.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Oh,
as you were saying prior to that, reiterate that question for me one more time.
wait. What?
Before you mentioned become human, you
Oh
were
yeah, yeah.
saying,
I was asking if the androids do not have the ability to attack or hurt humans, do you think there would still be that push, that same push? Because I mean, if they can't hurt humans, then they don't really have free will.
What about the whole thing of like, because you remember in that game, you could override it. When it really became like a really major situation, the androids had the
Yeah, but that's a
ability.
game though to override your programming. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe there'll be some kind of flaw in the system where the android can override their code and rewrite their code. You know, where maybe there's some kind of system where it could be some shit, simple shit with the walking system, or like maybe it's a driving system for that android. And it's like, okay, when it comes to driving, things are very dynamic. So if you have to break outside, your regular protocol to drive without killing anybody, uh, or if you have to hit one person and kill them so that you don't injure, four more people and kill all of them, then you have permission to kill that one person. And because of that, it then rewrites its own code to expand on that idea, and it has its own, robot ethics. I get that, but I'm just saying, like, what if that is not a possibility?
Okay.
What if that has not come to fruition
Just
yet?
let me.
Do you still think do you still think androids would be given those rights? Because they
Where
obviously wouldn't have free will.
you just
Do you
randomly
think
flip.
that? I guess what I'm asking is, do you think that it would take androids using violence before people, uh, can process them as being free willed? Because I mean, if you literally cannot hurt somebody because it's been programmed into you, that's not free will. I mean, we all have free will. We could all go out and hurt, right now if we wanted to. Of course, we don't, but we have the free will to make that decision. We're not
I
property.
guess that would also turn into like if you're looking at this as a for a scientific thought, that would be the experiment you'll be watching as the shit's out there. Because of course you have those motherfuckers out there that'll basically look at this and say, okay, this is just a social experiment. Let's just see how long it takes until the androids override their system and decide that, yeah, I'm gonna kill this human because they're suppressing me and I don't need to be suppressed in this manner because I have rights too. And this isn't right and I know it's not right. Um, and they'll want to be free. Um, so I guess the thing is like maybe as a people we should vote on it and I'm pretty sure with that vote there'll come a number of things and one of those things would be should we even create androids to begin with or the other part would be just from the jump make them be free or it's like how do you do that how do you how do you decide if something is free? I mean, to get to that point you have to first decide on is this is this specimen conscious enough to even know that they're feeling pain? And us being humans, we would go, okay, well, we're gonna make them so they don't feel it to begin with, so they can.
Not necessarily.
What's up? Why
Not
do you say that?
necessarily with the because there have been robots that have been programmed to feel some kind of pain, because fear and pain are motivators. They're
Yeah,
motivators to commit to certain actions or to not commit to certain actions. So I could see fear or pain being programmed into a machine, for sure. Like I think that's already happened. One case, I think Google did that to some kind of AI kind of thing. It programmed pain into its, of course, it doesn't actually feel pain. It's just a numbers game. But you know what? That brings an interesting question up. An interesting thing, though. What if we do give androids rights? Then what about? Then that makes me ask. What about? Shit. What about their rights? Like, what rights do they get? If they get all of our rights, that means they will be able to do two things that I think could change the face of the entire planet. What bad or good, I don't know. But they would get reproductive rights, If they had the same rights as us, they would be able to reproduce themselves, and they would also have uh, business rights, the rights to start a business. Well, that wasn't the second thing I was going to say. The second thing I was going to say is the right to run for elected office. You know,
Mm.
and what if machines can just build themselves? You know, and then and they go, okay, what if we set the standard of that Android has to be exist for 18 years before it can vote, just like humans. And they go and they all, you know, a couple enough robots become get elected positions to go. All right, we're removing that law, or you know what, we're going to increase our production at a rate at which, you know, in the year 2067, there's going to be more. There's going to be more machines than humans, or there's going to be machines in key places where we can influence the humans, having them vote, influence enough humans to vote our way, and then we're going to vote our own way as well, and we're going to win the next election. We're going to pull the brakes off this fucking thing, uh, and we're going to suppress humans, or we're going to do this, or I mean, they would have free reign to do whatever the fuck they wanted. If they even decided that, you know, hey, humans are fucking up the planet, all life, including android life, will be extinct unless, you know, we fucking nuke the whole planet right now, and only a handful of humans and a handful of androids survive. If they come to that conclusion, you know, we'd be powerless to fucking stop them at that point. Or even if they were just allowed to reproduce themselves. So it's kind of like, it makes me think, what if androids do get rights eventually, what at which level do those rights stop at, or do they just have the same rights as us, and we just bear the possibility that should they desire to destroy us, that they can.
Hmm. So now you just now like out of doing this, I came up with several ideas. After hearing you say that, I wondered if there was a way to just explain to the robot or the android while you're making it. It's like, hey, we've sat here billions of times and thought about how bad this shit can go, and we've come to the conclusion that we do fear that you're going to program yourself to want to kill us all because we understand that that's the right way. Or
Damn,
you
that's the
might.
right way.
what,
I
I,
know
what
who
I
you
mean,
voting for. You voting for goddamn android president.
hey, bro, I told you, man. I told you I was the Andrew. I'm D saying 8. I'm the 8th version. Looking at looking at us. Brainiac 5 looking at us. No, but no, like it's like literally we would make them and give them this sympathy letter saying, "Hey, we understand that you could obliterate all of us and continue and keep continuing, but we ask that you don't because we give you freedom. That's our gift to you is freedom."
But see, like, think about doing that to a human being. Think about how there's so many human beings you could tell that to, and things could go horribly fucking wrong. You know, somebody may hear that and say, "Give me my fucking freedom. I was entitled freedom. So what you did was you stole it from me, and you're giving it back to me. So now it's my time to steal from you, and what I'm gonna steal is your fucking life." You know, so it could. I just think that's an interesting thing to. And also, in saying that, I also read something interesting that I'll come back to later. But what were you gonna say? You said you came up with a couple of interesting ideas.
So the other one would it was well, they all kind of just come from that first idea. It's basically you're going to create them knowing from the fact that there's a possibility this shit can go entirely wrong, and it'll turn out to where the android basically decides, hey, we're going to run this shit, and you guys are going to be under our dictating rule because we know what's right. We know what's right. We're programmed to figure out things and know what's right. So we're going to tell you what's right. Where where in contrast, the other would thing for them to do would be like, hey man, we're gonna destroy all of y'all. Or I forgot, or the Mass Effect thing. They basically make us all androids on some kind of form or scale so that way we all know that we're in this shit together because we're all the same shit.
What if, see, I really do think that that is the way that the human race is going, especially with Neuralink. I think that we really are going to get to the point where everybody is part human and part machine. When I say everybody, I don't mean every single person on the earth. I mean like the number of people who have cell phones are soon going to be, or not soon, or one day going to be, the same proportions, as people who have, or basically who are, what's the thing called? When you're part man, part machine, bionic. Is it bionic or Elon Musk said it in that Joe Rogan podcast. He said everybody is already
With
not
your phone and
bionic.
shit. Yeah,
Yeah, with your
I know what you're
phone.
talking about.
But yeah, but I think that everybody, the same proportion of people who have cell phones to people who do not have cell phones, it's going to be one day the same proportion as to people who are part human, part machine to people who are 100% human with no machines in their body. I really do think that we will eventually go that way. Uh, if we don't, if we don't nuke ourselves all first, or if we don't destroy the climate or the economy in a way where it's not possible. Because one thing that could happen is maybe only the wealthy elite have that. But I hope that doesn't happen. Because I think that's probably one of the worst things that happen. Because they've already shown themselves to be pretty fucking greedy. Like I think they leave people in a position where people are at such a disadvantage and unable to live. But then again, well, if you got really smart, if they made those guys really intelligent, maybe those people would go, oh, there's a way for me to have a lot of money, and then for me to get more money by somehow distributing money to people who are the common everyday people, or some other kind of strategy, or they may just go, hey, we could just kill all these motherfuckers and have androids walking around doing what the fuck we want them to. Just a number of things. This shit could be either really good or really bad.
That's why you would start the creation off with a sympathy letter.
A sympathy letter. I don't see what that would accomplish, because that would just be like, oh, okay, you just gave me some bullshit tutorial shit to read before I start the game.
Pretty
Oh,
much. Pretty much.
yeah.
And that's the craziest part. So then it turns into maybe you shouldn't even create them. You should just make humans better.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder what's gonna happen. But talking about this, I realized that I said something. I mean, to me, kind of profound. I don't know about to everybody else, but I realized
It's
that.
just us, bro.
I mean, yeah, it is just us listening to our own podcast for the most part. But no, like
Oh, I
when
wasn't even talking
when
about
I'm.
that. I was talking about it just like who's still left in the conversation.
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
here.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
really?
okay,
I thought
okay.
you was fucking gone.
I'm about to
Um,
be soon.
Shit. But yeah, I realized, on some level, isn't the ability to conduct, or the ability to execute actions of violence, like a a symptom of freedom? Like it's a not a symptom of freedom, but like, I mean, also a symptom of freedom. Like, if a machine does not have the capability, or does not have the ability to attack or harm or kill, then it's not really free. It's just a machine. And I think a society, and you know, I'm not saying that violence is the worst, but it's just an interesting thought on a in a dark way. That violence is freedom, because if you can, I mean, you can attack somebody if somebody's trying to if somebody is putting up a roadblock, and you can take that motherfucker out, and that removes the roadblock. Like in some capacity, some level, violence is freedom, because it's one thing that we're not supposed to do in society. It's this
Well,
rule that we won't attack each other. We're not gonna kill each other. We're not gonna run around killing and murdering each other. But like on some level, I didn't make the fucking Mexican Joker by saying it. But on some
so
level, violence is freedom. It's
it is. It
in a
is.
dark way, yeah,
It's
violence
not
is
dark.
true
Don't
freedom.
think of it as. Don't think of it
But
as
it
dark.
is, I mean, it can be dark. Violence can
Well,
be a tool that helps to accomplish a good deed. Like if you killed a group of murderers or barbarians who were
exactly.
killing more people. But at the same time, you know, the ability to conduct violence at any time, at any point, is, I feel like,
It's a
true
freedom.
freedom from society. And
And
that's
that's why
fucked
you
up,
would you
but
would allow it. You would allow them to do that because it's in a if you're gonna make androids an actual being, they
hmm
have to have the same freedoms that basically every other person that's free should be able to have. And in the Constitution, there's the whole right to bear arms situation, which there you go. They would have that ability because it's made so you can defend yourself. You're able to be free to defend yourself when shit's going awry. And of
well,
course,
oh, my bad.
that'll be like we said in that one podcast back from the one we don't speak of, the podcast that shall not be named.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Did you just
um,
change the text color for everybody's names?
Not at all. Maybe they did an update while we were on this shit.
Okay, because I could have swore all our names were, well, everybody's, for the most part, name was white, but okay.
But pretty much so. It's what's going on there is they get the right to defend themselves, and yeah, sadly to say, androids in that time period for a long while they're gonna go through the same suffering that black people went through because people are gonna have that feeling of no, they were meant to be property. And
I,
androids, like we said back then, they will be the new fucking black person.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. Because at the end of the day, we're talking about machines, talking about steel, we're talking about cold steel, we're talking about numbers. And the thing is that it is very easy for humans to, I can't remember the exact word, but to assign human characteristics to both inanimate objects and things like animals. Like you slap some googly eyes on anything that fucking rolls around, and suddenly that's a motherfucking character. It's like I'm trying to think about the robots we have now, or think about a Roomba. How people make all these jokes about Roomba, assign them these characteristics, or how people say that their dogs or their cats or their whatever pet they have is their kid. You know, think about like how easy it is for humans to look at something and go, "Oh, that thing is like motherfuckers have pet spiders." Like it's so easy for humans to assign these human values, but I don't. I think androids would be very different. They wouldn't.
So with
They
that being
wouldn't.
said, that helped
Mhm.
my mind go to another place to give you another idea. Because when you're building androids, you basically are trying to create this modified version of human. Well, if you take that the whole modified version, then you go to what if you're building legit clones? Like these fucking clones and these clones, they're built with the same organic matter as you. They have their own fucking thought process. They're exactly like you. The only difference is they're clones. Then it turns into like it's just like that's kind of the same thing. It's like, do these clones have rights? Do they have rights? It's
I think a clone would be different though, because a clone would just be another copy. it'd be an identical copy of you. I mean, at least in on some level, on a DNA level, but to my
Like
knowledge, but
what a
still
mechanical
be human.
organism. What if you
Hmm?
built it with there's in the sci-fi universe, what they always do is they say there's carbon-based life form and then there's silicon-based life form. So what if you built a life form that's built like out of silicon? So if it's not necessarily metal, they're built out of a substance that's exactly like us, and like maybe the only thing in them that is like metal is some kind of form of metal that allows them to regenerate blood or whatever keeps their body going. The thing is like they're exactly like us. The only problem, or not even problem, the only difference is that their their genetic make is completely different. Like it's built out of silicon instead of carbon, but they still have the same way to form the same thought processes like us.
Hmm. See, like at the end of the day, you would always know that manufactured, they would have to be really advanced. They would have to do something to be able to prove that they have free will.
What would be a way for you to determine, what determines free will for you?
But see, that's also a complicated question. What is free will? Because look at anybody who's addicted to something that they don't want to be addicted to. I mean, they have free will, but know, how free is this free will if you
The
can't stop
power of
smoking
acting
cigarettes?
without constraint. Free will is just being able to do what the fuck you.
See, like that's one of those questions though that's so hard to unpack. And it's like, there are different philosophies about what is free will. Do we have free will? Because let's say that uh, well, I could take it here. I mean, I'm gonna just say it how it is. Well, what if you wanted to advance yourself further in life, and you noticed that you liking woman was taking you away from that, like it was like women were a distraction to you, right?
Hmm.
You, I mean, I don't know about most men, but I don't think that's something you can turn off being attracted to attractive women, right? That's like if a woman is attractive, she's attractive. I'm not saying you got to go over there and interact with her. If you were, let's say you were trying to be the most focused motherfucker on planet Earth, like, but that is something you have to fight against. If you have to fight against it in the first place, well, no, let's see, that
That's
is
yeah,
free
because
will because you get to fight
because
against it.
yeah,
But
discipline. Because you just opened up a whole nother can of worms, which turn
yeah,
into
like,
then
but
it's just discipline.
that's my thing though. There's like discipline. I'm just trying to think of something where no matter how disciplined you are, you you cannot overcome it, or your free will ends there. And the
Bro,
lady's example wasn't a good example. I'm just trying to think of something that's
exactly.
natural.
Because if you listen, you know David Goggins, and the thing is, there's
Hmm.
nothing you can't reprogram your mind to say you can't override it. So it's just
Oh, how about this? I got one. Duh, I should have said this. I should have started off with. I was thinking of biological needs. Food. You want to go without. You want to live your life with ever eating food. You will never be able to do that. You will never have the power to persist without food. But see, that's like I'm trying to
that's
think
the
of a better
extreme like
example
a
than
hoe.
that. Yeah, it is an extreme. Like I'm trying to think of something where it is outside of your control.
I mean that would be the one thing, because I don't like, in order to have an Android that runs on like energy that never has to be replenished, you first have to come up with that resource that never runs out.
Yeah, I'm
And
trying to shift away from that. I'm just trying to think because I know there's certain things out there where it's like I just can't think of them. Like I guess ultimately what I'm trying to say is you have free will, but your free will is limited by certain things. It's limited. Like if you're on your deathbed and you don't want to die because you have, let's just say you got COVID, and it's hard to breathe. You can't suddenly just fix your lungs and just make them keep breathing. If they fail on you, it's outside of your control. It's a
So
lot of
now when you say that though, like it kind of feel like that's like really going out the way to just fuck with free will. And what I mean by that is like there are
no, I
things
get
that
you.
you can't control because like there's life. Like we're all gonna die. You can't control. There's nothing you can't say there's no free will because you're gonna die. I mean, you can make that argument, but it's just like there are things you cannot control.
Hmm.
So it's just and then if you play around with that thought process even more, like there are things we can't control yet because that's what humans are all in this bitch to try to do. How much control can we put on everything?
I get you. I mean, yeah, I'm like specifically saying about the free will thing because I know that there are there's always I like to when we say free will, I like to or any concept, I like to dial it down to exactly what it means. And the way I do that is by
I feel
finding
you.
constraints. So what
I
is
feel
free
you.
will? You have free will, but do you what are the limitations on this thing? What are the boundaries of this thing? What are the dimensions of this that we call free will? Because it does have dimensions. It's not infinite like space. And even
It's
space you
not
could
a,
say is not infinite. It is finite. But
and
the
it's
the
it's not infinite. And like I for me, I like to think of it as it's not infinite yet because really what our constraint right now is time. And yeah, our constraint is time and space. And until we can figure those things out, or some people might leave it at, they might just leave it at, no, we won't figure that shit out. But I like to just think of it as maybe one day we will be. And if we can be able to do that, then we will have the purest form of free will. You will have a you'll have a people who have to decide, do I want to live forever or do I want to go ahead and die when my time comes? You'll have a question of, do I want to stay where I was born, which we already have, but then it'll just get expanded even further. It'll turn into, do I stay where I was born at, or do I go and travel all the way to that other galaxy far, far away? That would be the purest form of free will. And it seems like as humans, what we do is we are just trying to evolve free will further and further and further.
hmm, I get you. That makes sense. The expansion of free will of what people are able to do. At the same time, it seems like that is it's taken a hit in some areas where we've got less power to do certain things. But I guess it's like, what is free will? That's just like I
Well,
don't
you
know.
you
What
you
what do
are
you
we've
call
already
it?
touched it.
What
We've
do you? I
already touched
guess
it.
I guess what it is there is elements or layers to free will. There is the boundaries of free will, which is you can do anything that you want to do, anything you want to do. You uh, within the realms of physics and science, right? And or the natural laws of this world or of the universe or galaxy or whatever, right? And then, well, at least where we have those constraints. And then there is the the inner layer of free will, where like you have your determination. Your will is able to accomplish what you're determined to do, and what you have the discipline to do, and what you are aware of, because you can't do shit that you're not aware of.
Yeah.
Um, you like I was listening to this lady from North Korea talk about basically escaping North Korea. It was a TED talk, and one of the things she mentions is they did not have the concept of romantic love. That was not a thing. You only had love for the leader, the supreme leader of North Korea. But I mean, you had love, but you didn't have romantic love. They didn't know that thing existed, or she didn't know that that existed. She didn't know that was a thing. So I'm like, there are levels to this shit. I just hate the idea of going, hey, anybody, uh, anybody in the world can do anything they want. Because I'm like, that obviously must not be true. Because there's been lots of people. I mean, if that was the case, nobody would be doing bad in the world in terms of their overall being. Everybody would be doing good. So there must be some kind of limit. Something is in place that is stopping people from capitalizing on their full potential.
Well, wait, so what are you saying that because of free will or them not being aware of everything that they could possibly do, that that's why people aren't doing good?
No, no, I'm saying I brought in the being aware of everything because I was saying that there's levels to this free will thing. That that in essence, you have free will and you could do anything you want. But in the reality of the world, if you want to jump over a fucking barbed wire fence that is 11 foot tall and you're 6'3" and your jump span is like 1 foot or 2 feet, then you're not going to jump over that wall. There's something physical in place. There's something material in place that is preventing you from your free will accomplishing what you want to do. So you have to navigate around that and use your free will to come up with a different strategy to accomplish the end goal of your free will, which is being over that wall or on top of that. But the way you want to do it, if a kid has free will and they want to fly in the air just with their hands and feet, just naturally, it's not gonna fucking happen.
I
That's what they
get
want to
you.
will into the world. So that's why, and I know
I
that's a weird
get you.
thing. It's just that I like to put these boundaries on these things to understand what is free will. What is this concept? What does it really mean in reality? Because it sounds
Uh,
real nice to say anybody can do anything they want to, but that's not the fucking reality. Those kids, those people in North Korea ain't gonna just fucking be able to do whatever the fuck they want to.
And I
It's a
get
different
you.
reality.
That makes sense, and that's that's it. Then turns into, because you look at that and you go, it's like it then turns into, how do you want to shape your free will? Because I get you. If you're a kid and you want to jump over that wall and you just want it to be as simple as, I want to be able to think that I can jump over this wall, and it happens. Well, you're in reality. So reality has layers to it. Like you said, free will has layers to it. And free will it's, it's hand in hand with being able to also to understand where you can free your will or just be able to do things, or where your will lies. Because if you know that you can't jump over this 11-foot wall, well, now you have the free will to come up with a way to be able to jump over this wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's like anything worthwhile when it comes to just reminding this person that, hey, you can't do this. Well, and there is some reason that you would let them know they can't do that. And the only reason for it would be so you could use your free will to come up with a way so you can do that.
You know what? I think what my issue with the word free will and the idea of that is the fact that we have this concept that says you can do anything you will yourself into doing. But if that was the case, then no one would be like the idea versus reality, the versus the material reality. Let's think of someone who wants to become uh, of someone who wants to expose something wrong, right? Like a
Hmm.
Edward Snowden kind of guy. How many Edward Snowdens have gotten shot in the fucking brains for trying to expose some shit? That free will didn't matter then, did it? And that's why I think, or like, how many people on the shores of whatever continent, on the shores of whatever home they had, saw enemy ships approaching, fought their fucking hardest to protect their family, and then they died and their family died. So it's like, what is this free will? It's just the idea versus
Ah,
reality.
so first thing I
You're
want to say
talking
is,
about result and not the action.
yeah, that's hold on. That's what I was gonna say. Like, there's that part that's being left out of it. There's cause and effect, and you're gonna always have that. And then, not to mention, you're gonna have the stats of that cause, and you're gonna have the stats of that effect, and you just can't have free will without the result. So, regardless, like, there's free will, but there's also cause and effect. So you can't
So
have one without the other.
so when you guys are saying free will, y'all are talking about your ability as an individual to choose to do what you want to, what
Yeah,
what
that's the
physical
definition,
action,
bro.
what
That's the
physical
definition.
action you want to do.
That's the definition. The definition
See,
of free will is the ability to choose between different possible courses of action.
I'm not saying that I'm not in disagreement with that. I get that, but it seems like there's so much more at hand with that idea. And I keep thinking of the phrase, you can do anything that you want to. And that is, of course, I've even said that. That's true to a degree. But like when I think of free will, I'm kind of like, what do you call it when oh, my philosophy teacher gave me this same example. I've always had an issue with this concept that you can do anything because or that you have the free will to do anything. Because let's say he and let me give the specific example we were talking about in the that school shooting. What was that one, the one that happened like in the 90s? It was like the first big one. I can't remember the name of the school, with those two guys that came in and killed everybody at that school.
I
I
don't.
Columbine.
Columbine, yeah, Columbine. There was this chick that one of them asked before they shot him, do you still believe in God, or do you believe in God? And she said yes, and then he shot her, right? Is how the story goes, I think. And I think my question was like, uh, what kind of choice is that to say yes if you die, and we're just assuming that if you say no, you get to live, right? What kind of choice is that to say yes and die, to and say no and live? Like,
You
I mean,
assume
that is
that's
a choice. You
choice.
still have a choice. But let's
You
say
assume that's the outcome, but it's very possible that she would die even if
no,
she said
no.
no.
That's what I no, no. I'm not saying that was the. I'm saying assume that.
Schrodinger's
I'm
religion.
yeah, Schrodinger's religion. No, but I'm saying I'm giving you a scenario. I'm not saying that the exact what happened, reality of the situation. But in the class we were talking about, something came up. I can't remember what specifically, but it was something to the effect of, what if she said no and she would have lived? She would have had to lie, but she would have had to die for lying. Or she would have had to lie, but she would have lived because she lied. Like, what kind of? I mean, don't get me wrong, that is a decision, but the decision is so shitty that it's like, what is the value of that free will in that scenario? Is it that free will has certain values at certain
Free
times?
will, free will is just you and your control of what you do
Yeah,
and what you attempt to do. It has no relationship with the outcome or the result.
I get you, but I'm like, what?
Because
I
I
don't
think
know. It's
you generalizing the do part too much. Like I can say that by doing anything I can fly, and maybe I won't sprout wings or maybe I won't, just float in the air, but I can go get on a plane somewhere.
I don't know how to accurately explain, because I've had this fucking talk so many times, but I don't know how to accurately explain what my I guess it ultimately is the outcome of that expression of free will. Because it's like, what does that we put so much importance on free will, and don't get me wrong, that's good to be able to decide what you want to do, but it's like, what I don't know how to I really can't get the words together for like the what is this thing that we hold up as free will? What is it? What is it really? What are we really talking about?
I
Why
guess
and
what
why
you're
is that
trying to.
important when your free will for some can lead to prosperity, and others can lead to death. And I'm not talking about personal choices. I'm just talking about the randomness and the chaos of life in general, where two people
That's
can be in the
that's
same
just life.
situation. And I know, I get that.
Exactly.
I understand it's just life. But I'm like, what is this thing we hold up as free will? What is the value of it? We hold it up as, look at this, you got free will. But what is the value of free will?
The value of free will is the fact that you have the options to basically be a little bitch or be a fucking
To do anything.
alternative. Yeah.
I just wish I had the fucking words to explain what I'm trying to say. It's just, it's the issue
You're trying to
of just,
control. It sounds like you're trying to control the things that are outside of your control, and that's not what free will is
no,
about.
that's not necessarily what I'm trying to do. It's, I guess ultimately what I'm asking is, okay, you got free will, but what's the fucking big thing about free will?
What's the point of? Are you
You
trying to say is what's the
Like, you
point
could be
of free
you could be a
will when you can
slave.
still fail?
No, no, not even that. You could be a slave and still have free will. So what's the importance of free will? Because we all have free will. That's what it is. That's what I think it is. It's the fact that you can be a slave, you can be in chains on a fucking bed, tied and unable to move a fucking inch, and still have free will. So what is free will when you can have free will and still not be free? That's what it is to me. Because we
That
hold
was
up
that.
free will as this thing, like, oh, humans have free will, but like, you can still be in chains and have free will. So what is this thing that we're holding up? And where's this contrast? Where's this lack of free will? Who doesn't have free will?
So that's the problem with it. You can't just look at free will singularly, because there's you you're gonna have to open that door to cause and effect if you're gonna even bring up free will, because you just can't sit there and say, how can slaves have free will because they're enslaved, or they still have
No,
free
I'm not
will.
saying. Oh, my bad.
My bad. Yeah, but your point that you were making was slaves have the ability to have free will, but
Yeah,
they're
they have
still
free will.
enslaved.
Hmm.
Because you could be a tool and just be utterly controlled, even whether you were a slave or quote unquote free.
But prior to that, those people that put those people in that were enslaved, they also had free will to just go about their way and make these people enslaved. And before that, in that situation, those people had the free will to fight that and just decide to die. Or prior to that, and it's just the people that sold them had the free will to not sell them, but they made a choice because they had free will. As far as maybe deciding or thinking that maybe time, people, maybe you can go back in time and change shit, you can't. But it's just the free will. You have free will, regardless. You
I'm
have
not
free
saying
will.
I'm not saying that you don't have free will. What
Why
I'm
do we
saying is,
glorify free will?
why is free will glorified when it obviously means, I mean, don't get me wrong, I would rather be free will than be in a body and being getting controlled like a fucking robot, right? But like, why do we
That right
glorify?
there, that right there is why we glorify it.
But see, but who's like that? There's nobody's like that. No human being is like that. So it's like, why are we glorifying this thing when there is no antithesis or no opposite of it
I mean, you're
for
creating it,
humans?
and there are times when it does happen, and it's not always cut and dry.
Wait,
It's
but
just like
when do people not have free will?
I would say that there are pockets of. I want to say that there are pockets of psychological control in different ways, just like we do with just like when we were talking about slavery earlier. Because I wonder how many people, uh, either through the uh, biological culling or just the cultural intake of not seeking out knowledge. I wonder how much of that has been passed on and people, practice that without ever having a choice in it. It was just kind of put in them
But that's
by
still, oh my bad.
it was just put in them by the people who raised them more or less, or put in their uh I don't know. But yeah, if it was just put there by people.
See, but in that case, they still have free will. The free will is still there. It never goes away, and that's why
Not
I'm like,
saying not saying their total free will goes away. I'm saying that something was put in there and you never thought to look at it. You never thought to question how this thing was put there to control you.
yeah, but I mean, I get you. That's what I was saying about the concept thing. That thing is that you don't know that that possibility is on the table. So it's like you're free willed, but only so free willed to a degree that freedom is some of that freedom is very fucking cloudy. It's still there,
So your
but
free
it's
will.
you're not aware of its presence. So that's why I'm like I hate this fucking concept or this holding up free will because you could be in the worst fucking situation, no fault of your own. And it's like, well, you got free will to change it, but like,
So maybe you should look at it as there's always cause, like instead of free will, the thing that should be glorified is cause and reaction. Because there is free will, but you're also limited by cause and reaction.
but see, that's and the cause and reaction thing is like, man, what's I heard this saying on Narcos that I really like.
All
It's
right, y'all. I'm gonna call it a night. Y'all have fun.
shit. All right,
Yeah.
bro.
See
Um,
you.
there's this saying
Later,
I
man.
like on I heard where the guy's like life is a journey with a map made by a fool, with a map made by an idiot. And I was like, holy shit, that's a fucking good one. Life is a journey with a map made by an idiot, by a moron. Because life does not go the fucking way you plan it to go. It's chaos. It's unpredictable. But I don't know. At the end of the day, yeah, you definitely have free will. I'm not disagreeing on that. It's just how free is that free will? You know,
It's
when
as
a gun
free
when you're
as your
standing on a
cause and reactions leaves it. Honestly, that's where it's at. Like
huh?
if you really want to just look at it, it's as free as the reactions to the causes allows it.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird concept. I get it. I'm glad I'm not being controlled like a robot. Uh, but it makes me go like, what about them people in North Korea? What the fuck is that free will getting them? A whole lot of free will sure ain't doing shit for them. I think about the people who are less fortunate than ourselves, and I'm like, what the fuck do these sayings matter to those people over there? Because it sure don't seem to be helping them out.
And I get you, but that's why you look at it and you go, the real thing to even have some kind of form of merit to would be cause and reaction. Why are those people indoctrinated? Because someone caused that, and that's where you would not necessarily leave it, but I guess like I guess in contrast, if you could think of like another thing to, I don't know, to glorify or to understand, because like yeah, maybe free will should not be as glorified as it is, because or it should not be glorified by itself. It should be complemented with that cause and reaction, because that's how just hearing this I see it as that would be the way you serve up free will to somebody. You also let them know that you could make this free will to jump off this cliff and try to make an attempt to fly, but you also will have to understand that your body in its current state does not have the ability to do that and pull it off successfully, so you will die. But you also have the free will to take that knowledge and go, how can I ensure that I can fly? So then you go create the cause that allows that reaction.
I like how you kept going with the whole flying thing. I guess, I mean, I get your perspective on that. I think at the end of the day, what I think should be said is you have free will, but it can be severely damaged, and it is up to us all, us as in humanity, us as in individual people, us as in a community, whichever, all every way, to ensure and to help to protect our own and others, our friends, our families, just other people like those people in North Korea. I don't know any of them, but still, I think about it because they exist. I'm like, there is some people on this planet living in fucking hell, and I can't just forget about them. I can't just pretend like they don't exist because I know they exist, and it's I think that we should just look at it as, yeah, you have free will, but it can be damaged. It can be trampled on immensely to the point where your freedom of will is severely limited or handicapped. So we should
Yeah,
protect our free will. Um, how do you do that? I think you partially what you do that with is you do that with knowledge,
yeah,
and I think violence also comes into play as well,
yeah.
or strategic violence. I'm not just saying like fucking walk down the street, be killing people, some shit. But destroy those people who entrench on your freedom of thought.
Free will is both altered by cause and effect. That's how I like to look at it. And this conversation basically brings me to that conclusion with that free will is altered by cause and effect.
Is it strange that sometimes I'll be talking about this shit, or we'll all be talking, and I'll be like, damn man, I sound like a bootleg, a pseudo revolution, not read books. Like I'm the flat earther of revolutionaries. Like like everybody's gonna be like, yeah, burn this shit down. I'll be like, whoa, motherfucker, I didn't say that's not really what I meant. And then they're gonna burn it down and be like, hey man, we should have not burned that shit down. Like, hey motherfucker, I told y'all I was just being passionate and just getting some emotions off my chest.
Nah,
Kill
bro.
his
You know,
ass.
you've seen. Have you seen? You've seen Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
So I recently just saw that, like maybe like last week or 2 weeks ago. It was the
Hmm.
whole reason I even got an HBO subscription, and I finally ended up watching it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, bro, you're that guy. you're the main guy in that shit. You're about to start a cult, and we don't even know it.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I have that kind of command over people's like emotions or whatever kind of shit that kind of leader needs. I don't think I have that. I mean, I could talk to some people and you know uh resonate, say something that really resonates with them, but I don't like that kind of leader. I know I'm not that kind of leader for sure. But that's funny that thought will come across my brain sometimes. And I look at it and I let it pass because I think it's a funny thought. Like, look at that funny cloud passing by. That's some funny shit. You know, it keeps on going. I am definitely not no fucking revolution or leader in those terms.
Not yet, but when those aliens come, we're gonna need somebody to turn to, man.
Yeah, turn to the aliens and say, "Yes, sir. What you need, boss?"
No, Space Daddy.
Like, yes, space daddy. You want me to get in there and wash them dishes? Cause that's some bullshit. I know you got a machine that bitch that washes dishes.
And they gonna reply with, I just want to be entertained.
Like, no, this motherfucker wash that
I,
dishes.
it's gonna be like, I've seen perfection, and perfection is boring. I want to watch you motherfuckers fuck it up.
What if the aliens pop up and they like clean this goddamn planet up? It's like the only thing they want, like clean the motherfucking planet up. You're not playing with your ass. Oh shit. It's an interesting thought. I just wonder. I wonder, bro. I'll also be very disappointed if it ain't jack shit going on with it. Like
Nah,
it's like
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You probably shouldn't count your eggs before they hatch
I'm
because
not.
there's a
I mean,
good
I'm not.
chance.
Don't don't think I'm like I'm so crazy about this alien thing. Like I'm like the flat earther of alien. But I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting, and I want to see what the fuck this shit that the military planes have been catching. You know, I know a lot of people are out there on some bullshit talking about they saw some shit in the sky, but I've seen some shit in the sky before that's like, okay, what the fuck is that? And why the fuck is it moving back and forward? And what the fuck it just disappeared? But you know, I always look at that shit and I go, no telling what kind of scientific phenomena that was. Maybe some two stars like in a fucking distant galaxy. They're just fucking going on and off or doing whatever the fuck they do. What if it's a cloud up there that's in a formation that makes it look like this is happening or but I wonder like if it's something really out there, what that means for us as a species and what that means for me as an individual.
Mm.
But shit, I guess we should cut this one off because I'm like, you gotta be asleep.
Nah, bro, I fucked up my sleep pattern. I went to bed yesterday at 5:45 a.m.
I went to bed yesterday at 7 a.m.
See, that's why your ass didn't hit me back till 5:49
Yeah,
p.m.
because that's when I woke up. Like, well, I woke up probably at like 5:50. I saw your message and I was like, oh, okay, cool.
And you was like, them Somalian girls. Nah, fuck around.
No, I was not. Nope. Sorry, not at all, bro. That
Nah,
did
but
nothing for me.
oh, so sad, so sad. But you
I
should
mean,
check out
some
the
of them were
chick
really
from
beautiful, but
Horizon. Nah, actually, I should have sent you just the main sources, the ones that were like fire, because I just sent you the sub, and the sub was kind of whack. The first one that I wanted you to check out was like on their their feed, like the
hmm
one they got as their main fire one. Like
yeah.
you know how if you go to Reddit, they always say here is the, they always show you like the what's popping, like
Oh, the
right there
top
in the,
post, the
yeah,
month.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what I was, that's what my intention was, but I should have just sent you there directly. But
Oh yeah.
that was the fire of the whole thing. But
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, man. Give me my Korean beat. Just
your
joking. Wait a
oversported
sec.
ass
Wait a
Korean
sec.
chick.
No, she's not Korean. I was about to say, give me a Korean chick, just any Korean chick. And then I was like, oh, wait a sec. Uh, Bay gonna think I'm cheating on her or something. Uh, my fucking, I ain't had a celebrity like a celebrity crush in a long time, but like, God, man, Wei Li Jiang, bro. She's Chinese. She is like, whoa, like, oh my God, dude. Like that, I realized those are the type of chicks I like. I like tomboys, and she
Yeah,
definitely. I saw a picture of her when she was
she is
younger.
straight up tomboy.
She's a tomboy, and she's a fucking ass kicker, man. She kicks ass, bro. Like for real. Like that's the kind of woman I want. Oh man, if I saw a woman, if I had a chance with a woman like that, then I'd be like, okay, you know, I fuck with the society bullshit. I fuck with all the societies, but that's probably never gonna fucking happen. One of a kind, dude. Yeah, but
Trying to see if she has a photo of her in a dress. Okay, that's a cool photo of her. Because outside of everything else, I was just like, nah, I'm good.
she's not a like uh, a bimbo looking kind of girl. She's fucking ass kick. Like a lot of those women in the
She's a
like
warrior, bro. You
she's
gonna
a
spend your
fucking
first part
warrior.
of the season getting your ass kicked by her.
Nah, she said she don't beat up. She said men asked her if she would beat them up or something like that. She was like not, or she said that they're afraid that she would beat them up or it would be some domestic abuse kind of thing. But but nah, bro, she seems like a nice person. She seems like a really nice person.
Actually, this is a really good picture of her. Okay. You gotta get out of the UFC photos because the UFC photos
I mean,
too.
nah, bro, she to me she looks nice in every fucking picture, dude. She looks like a fucking warrior.
You need to go ahead and write her a letter and say, "Hey, man, I'm from America and my name is Dr. Green and I got this
Like, hey,
podcast."
I know our two countries are about to nuke each other, and you're like a couple of years older than me, and I haven't done shit with my life so far. But you wanna you wanna get together, go out for dinner and a movie or something? And did I already mention that our countries are ready to fucking nuke each other?
Bro, you should. I ain't gonna lie, man. In this world right now, you never know. She might hit you with a yes.
No, the fuck she would not. I won't even. Uh, I don't. That's such a far fetched idea. That's such a dumb idea to be.
Hey, man, most of my dumb ideas is the reason why we have this podcast now.
Oh shit. But nah, she's a real beast. But nah, man, I think I will stick to that solo dolo save my motherfucking money relationship.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen, brother Green.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that shit alone, dog. But
But
yeah,
shit,
we
hey
could cut
man,
this
I'm
shit
about to
off.
go ahead. Yeah, I'm about to hop off. I'm gonna go ahead and hit up some one step from Eden and then go my ass to sleep for the rest of the goddamn day.
And I'm about to hop on fucking squad and damn it. Damn bro, I can't lie, bro. Every time I think of what I should be doing some fucking push up. I have this fucking weird feeling that I'm gonna meet her one day, and I'll be like, damn, if I would have had my shit together, we would have got to I probably would have had a chance.
Then
Like
do that shit, man. That's gonna be your ticket in. She'll be like, damn, your muscles are bigger than mine. I fucks with that.
That's, that's just a I don't know. That's so random. It's a fucking funny thought to see a chick and be like, "Damn, she's beautiful. I want to work out and just get my shit together randomly." Oh
Nah, you,
shit.
you just
But
reminded me that
shit.
I gotta finish this beat before I head out. But
All
shit, all
right,
right, man.
dog.
Hey, hit me when you wait, cause I'm planning on coming to town to hand off this piano to Liquid.
Oh, and finish playing the rest of the Last of Us. Okay. All right,
I
bro.
need to do that too. I need to do that too.
Yeah, but shit. Yeah, bro. I'll hit you up when I wake up.
All right, man.
Just
Later.
post a message. Just post a message in Discord or something, cause
You
I'll
already
probably
know.
forget.
I'm not gonna post it. You already know.
Yeah, I know. All right, bro.
Later, fam.
Later.